What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope everyone is having a great Wednesday, and it is Wednesday, so that means it's time for some bargain bin wax. So before we get into this box, would ask if you could drop down, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell for notifications, and make sure you slam that like button. And as you can see, today we are doing 1989 Fleer baseball. This box cost me roughly $30. I bought it in a lot with two other boxes, and was right around $90. So it was roughly a little bit $30. So we keep it under our $50 limit. So through 4 weeks now, we have officially gotten to $95. Yes. 95. Yes, that's exactly how far we are. Okay, so 95 bucks. So through 4 weeks, we have spent less than $100, and we've opened 4 boxes of cards, which is pretty good. That's the whole point of this series, is to show that, hey, there are some boxes and some product out there that you can rip on a budget. That's what it's all about. So, 1989 Fleer, probably a pretty popular old set. For a couple reasons. The main one being trying to find the Billy Ripken F Face card. And that's what we're going to hope to find tonight. We have not been able to locate one in our other box that we do our single packs with, which we just posted a video in pack 15 yesterday. So maybe we'll get lucky tonight. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find that card. So there we go. There's the pack. There's the back of the pack. You guys know what they look like. Let's get into it. So Fleer does the stickers. So we'll get a sticker set per pack. There's our sticker. Rafael Santana. Larry Anderson. So we're going to be looking for a few cards in this set. The number one being our normal Wednesday hunt for a Ken Griffey Jr. There's Cecil Fielder. Jeff Robinson. I don't like these cards because they do tend to stick together, just like the way they were made, the film. There's a checklist. Eric Hansen. Willie McGee. And Jack McDowell. So we're going to be looking for the junior rookie card and the Billy Ripken Air card. Those are the two chase cards for tonight. We don't normally have a lot of luck with Junior. In the past weeks, we've failed to find the Ken Griffey Jr. base card. I think the only one we found was in Score, where it was the cartoon card, the big headed drawing card is what it was. So we also find Bo Jackson in here. And Tom Glavine. That's another chase card in this set. There's the regular team sticker. There's Ricky Henderson with his usual sweet baseball card. He's always got cool cards. Pete Smith. Power Center. Puckett and Davis. There's Bob Horner. No Bob Horner. Howard Johnson. There's Eddie Murray. Jamie Quirk, Dave West, Rich Yeet, Eric Davis, and Kelly Paris. Met Bob Horner when I worked at a golf course. He was a member at that golf course, so I knew him quite well. Asked him where his favorite place to play is, or was, and he said Wrigley Field, which as a Cubs fan made me feel pretty good. Larry Sheets, Jeff Montgomery, John Farrell, Cal Daniels, Lance Johnson, Kruko, Dennis Lamp, Vance Law, Plesac, and Dan Petrie. All right, pack number 5. 36 packs, the way it used to be, the way it was when opening up a box of cards wasn't just trying to make back a bunch of money. I miss those days. That's why I do the videos that I do. It's not about making back money. It's just about collecting and having fun. There's a Steve Wilson and a Cameron Drew, Major League Prospects. Dave Anderson. Huff, Brian Smith, Floyd Bannister, and Dave the Leaper. I think it's actually Leper, but I don't know. Mariners card. Mike Harkey. There's Alan Trammell. Roberto Alomar. Nice. Another prospects. Holton. Wilkerson. Hubie Brooks. There's Saberhagen. Ken Hill. Dennis Cook. Brian Harvey. Tony Fernandez. And Kurt Young rounds out that pack. I believe we found the junior rookie card in our pack videos, if I recall. Maybe we found it in a single pack. I don't remember. There's Clemens. That's a nice one. But I do remember finding one. It is in my binder. So if we don't find one tonight, not going to hurt me that bad. But I would like to find ones. We don't really have that best of luck. There's a McGuire. That's a nice one. We don't really have that best of luck on the Wednesday videos when Junior's involved. We don't really find his cards. So, Otis Nixon, Alvin Davis, Brett Butler. There's Fernando, Williamson. There's Dave Stewart, Sandy Alomar. These two, we opened our pack yesterday. And these two were back-to-back in that pack as well. So they must have a little bit of collation there. Dave Stewart, one of the Black Aces, one of the few African-American players to win 20 games in the majors. Double trouble. Let's see, David Price, CC Sabathia. There's only a handful. Satchel Paige isn't even in that list. Of course, Satchel was... when he was a rookie, he was, quite old from playing most of his time in the Negro Leagues. Ron Gant, Clark and Palmero. There's Kurt Ford, Gary Carter, Tom Gordon, Brooke Jacoby. Still looking for Billy Ripken. And, of course, there's variations on the card. It might have the actual, might actually say it or have a black box or a white box. So there are Keith Hernandez. Julio Franco. There's Barry Larkin. That's a nice one. Larry Parrish, my uncle. There's Dawson. Rob Deere. And Chuck Finley. Larry Parrish isn't really my uncle, but my uncle's name was Larry Parrish. Passed away a few years ago. One of the funniest guys I ever knew. Mike Jeffcoat, Tom Foley, Mark Grant, Richard Dotson, Alan Ashby, Jack Howell, John Cerruti, Blankenship. One stuck to him. Jim Clancy. There we go. There's Bobby Bonilla, the contract. And then we get another checklist. Okay. It's our third time around the box. No Junior, no Billy Ripken so far. There's Chili Davis. Rick Honeycutt. Jim Gott. Greg Gagne. Glenn Wilson, Todd Worrell, Bob Stanley, Darrell Boston. Belliard, Bill Swift, John Costello, Dwight Evans, Carlton Fisk, Van Snyder, one stuck to him, Fitzgerald, the country singer, Jerry Reed, Walt Terrell, Franklin Stubbs, Carl Nichols, Billy Hatcher, Walt Weiss, Gary Templeton. The Royals sticker. Mario Diaz, Steve Searcy, Tim Leary. Come on, there's Jose Canseco, Roberto Kelly, Ricky Jordan, Odabe McDowell. There's our Tom Glavine. That's a nice one. That's a chase. And then the Triple A's, McGuire, Canseco, and Steinbach. The Bash Brothers. We also haven't found any of the insert cards yet, the All-Stars. There's the Cubs sticker. Corey Snyder, Paul O'Neill, Ken Patterson, Wes Gardner. There's Sutcliffe. That thing is terribly cut. Perfectly centered. Portugal, Henneman, Jimmy Jones, and Kevin Brown and Kevin Reamer for the Rangers. Major League Prospects. Man Waring, Jim Rice, nice. Rafael Palmeiro never took steroids. He told Congress that. There's John Moses, Mitch Webster, Jeff Robinson, Andy Hawkins, Kramer and Garcia on the prospects, Mike Devereaux, Willie Wilson, and Gary Sheffield. Nice. What is it, second year Sheffield? Or first year Sheffield? Second year Sheffield. Okay. Chris Gwynn, Brower, Tracy Jones, Frank White, Bruce Benedict, Al Leiter, Jim DeShays, Jimmy Key, Gene Nelson, Ron Jones, Jesse Barfield, Andy Van Slyke, Urbeck, and a Tim Simmons who had seen better days. Tim Simmons looks like Behringer from Major League. Righetti, Craig Reynolds, Devon White, Lloyd, Ted Mosby, Steinbach, Juan Samuel. There's Barry Bonds. Another chase. There's Randy Bush. There's a checklist. There's one of the greatest pitcher names ever, Bob Walk. There's the Wizard, Wade Boggs, and Bill Long. Bob Walk and Eric Plunk. Great pitcher names. Just great names for a pitcher. You grew up and your name was Bob Walk, I think you were destined to become a pitcher. Sachs, Worthington, Rafael Ramirez, Stan Javier, Carmelo Martinez, Donnie Baseball, Schmitty, Scott Fletcher, Zane Smith. There's Danny Jackson and David Cohn, pitching power. Steve Peters, Tom Candiotti, Leach, Charlie O'Brien. Okay, we're about halfway through the box now. There is a surgery man, Tommy John. I met him at a golf tournament. Mike Maddox, Ruben Sierra. There's the Murph, Dale Murphy, nice. Dual Heat, Davis and Doc. Ron Washington, Ron Darling. Sisk, Darrell Hamilton, Tim Tuffle, Greg Swindell, John Franco, Barry Jones. I got left here 4 times around. Yep, 4 times around the block. 16 packs to go. No Junior. And no Billy Ripken yet. There's Buckner, Doug Jones, Treadway, Dave Gallagher, Spike Owen, Greg Maddux when he was on the Cubs, Bill Wegman, better put him in, Brian Harper, Pat Sheridan, Rasmussen, and a De Los Santos and Jim Campbell for Major League Prospect for the Royals. Should have started Wegman. Bob Melvin, Gedman, McLemore, Fred Tolliver, Al Nipper, Doyle Alexander, Keith Moreland. There is Capel and Hall for the Cubs prospects, Jeff Hamilton, Kruder, Pascual Perez, Steve Farr, and Todd Simmons. I have a feeling we're going to get Junior shut out again. There's Edgar Martinez, Tony Pena, Ellis Burks, Ivan Calderon, Brian Holman, Scott Bradley, Riles, Eric King, Mike Marshall, Terry Kennedy, Glenn Davis, Dave Parker, and Jack Clark. The Cobra. Dave Parker. Go watch Dave Parker highlights. Dude had a cannon. There is the great unibrow of Tommy Gregg. Pat Borders, Jose Lind with some sort of weird blob right in the middle of his eyes, right between the eyes. Nice. There's Puckett, Bruce Sutter. There we go. We found a Ken Griffey Jr. And it looks a little off-centered to the top. But nonetheless, we did find one. All right. Joey Reed, Keith Brown, McGaffigan, Mike Moore, Will Clark, Paul Gibson. So that just means that we need to find a Billy Ripken. Need to find the Ripken. There's Hershiser, Tettleton. There's Eck, Dave Winfield, Hal Morris, Greg Harris, Jeff Russell, Perry, Pitcher Perfect, Tom Browning, Greg Matthews, Kaiser. There's Strawberry. There is Cal Ripken Jr. and Jeffrey Leonard. So we got one Ripken. Can we get the other one? Can we find the other one? I think there's two stuck here. One stuck to Mitch Williams. James. Home runs coast to coast. Strawberry and Clark. Steve Lake. Kevin McReynolds with a little orb or blob there. Jose Bautista. Don August. Greg Jeffries. There's Joe Carter. Browning and Mike Diaz. Mike Diaz. Astros sticker. Al Newman, Jody Davis, Benito Santiago, Terry Taylor, and Vance Lovelace prospects for the Mariners and the California Angels. Alfredo Griffin. There's Bobby Witt, Kevin Setzer, Pedro Guerrero, Joel Skinner, Randy Johnson. And I don't believe, no, the marble is not there, which is not a good sign for our Billy Ripken card. If we find one, George Bell and Doug Jennings with the orb in the G. So this is probably a corrected box if we do find a Billy Ripken. So it'll probably be a black box, would be my guess. Gubaza, Chris Brown, Candelaria, Buddy Bell, Brian Downing. There's Steve, Milt Thompson, Ernie Witt, R.J. Reynolds, Gary Gaetti, and the checklist. Okay, two more times around. Vaughn Hayes, Ihorn, Junior Ortiz, Reardon, checklist, Dave LaPointe. There's Jay Buhner, Bernansky, Benzinger, Steve Lyons, Ron Robinson, Dobson, Langston, Don Robinson, and Dave Bergman. I always think of Steve Lyons as the announcer instead of the actual player. For love of the game, him and Vin Scully calling Billy Chappell's perfect game. Schooler, DeLeon, we about dropped. Bruce Hurst, there's Ozzie Guillen, Rob Dibble, Wallace Johnson, Mickey Brantley, Guillermo Hernandez, there's Mike Scioscia, Ballard, Michael Scott, Greg Caderet, and Dickie Thon. So just 6 packs to go. And we are not looking great for the Billy Ripken card. Tom Herr, Roger McDowell. There it is. And it is indeed the black box. We did find one, but it is the black box. So that's a good. But unfortunately, there's Bo Jackson. When we saw the Randy Johnson, I kind of had a feeling that, yeah, it was going to be the black box. Sean Dunston. There's Molitor and Tony Armas. So we did find Billy Ripken. The black box isn't worth nearly as much as the original F Face card, but it is what it is. Andy Allenson, Danny Jackson, Joe Price, Mike Smithson, Les Lancaster, Terry Clark, Chet Lemon, Lance McCullers, and Joe Girardi, and Rolando Rooms. Prospects for the Cubs. Little Joe Girardi. When I was a kid, I couldn't pronounce his last name. Joe, I always pronounce it Joe Girardi. I couldn't pronounce it. Gene Larkin, Darren Jackson. There's Jack Morris. I think there's one stuck to him. Yeah. Mark Davis. Reds prospects, Lenny Harris, Marty Brown, Danny Heap, George Brett, Greg Harris, Ricky Roden. There's Craig Biggio, another chase card in the set, Johnny Ray, Kelly Gruber, and the other great pitcher name, Eric Plunk. 3 packs to go. Go ahead and get our box out of here. Next to the Rapper Graveyard that happens on Wednesdays. A's sticker. Mike Stanley. There's Tim Raines. Nice. Kurt Stillwell. There is a Scott Service and Shane Turner. Phillies prospects. Those Fightin' Phils. Wally Joyner. Freddie McGriff. New Hall of Famer Freddie McGriff. David Wells. There's Draybeck. Dan Gladden. And Terry Blocker. Look at that. That's an intense stare right there. He knew his picture was being taken. He knew it was for a baseball card. He's like, this is going on my 1989 Fleer baseball card. So I'm going to pose. Henry Cotto. Kelly Downs. Ted Power. Mike Sharperson. There's Randy Myers. Terry Pohl. Bob Welch. Glenn Hubbard. Willie Randolph. Bruce Ruffin. Pete O'Brien. Andres Thomas. A speed and power. 40 steals, 40 home runs. Jose Canseco. Part of the 40-40 club. I don't hear much about the 40-40 club anymore. Not too many guys do it anymore. Jay Tibbs. There's the Express. Nolan Ryan. Dave Henderson. Mike Brumley. Scott Nielsen. Lance Parrish. Jose Guzman. There's Awesomemacher. Hot Corners. Hot Hitters. Wade Boggs. Carney Lansford. Larry McWilliams. Rod Allen. Wally Backman. There's one stuck to him, I think. Nope. Dave Schmidt. And we end it with Chris Bosio. Used to be the Cubs pitching coach. No longer the Cubs pitching coach. So that's it. That wasn't too bad. We found some good stuff in there. Found junior rookie card. We got a Billy Ripken error card, but it was the black box one. So that kind of sucks, but it's all right. We got Randy Johnson in there as well. Got a bunch of stickers, all that good stuff. So that is going to do it for this week's Bargain Bin Wax Wednesday. And I hope that everyone had fun. I had fun opening up the packs. I like 1989 Fleer, one of my favorite sets. So keep an eye out for some future videos. We'll have some shorts and things like that on Thursday. And then we'll have, I don't know what we're going to do for Friday's video yet. I haven't decided, but we've got some stuff up there that we can open up. So keep an eye out for that. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Thanks for stopping by.